Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. It's King Bob here again for another stream on this wonderful Saturday evening. I figured, why not give the Airbus A350 1.0.4 a little test. We're just going to do my shakedown route, which is typically Tucson to Phoenix. It's short enough to get a good idea of how the plane handles and see what 1.0.4 is. So we're in Phoenix right now. Oh, I'm sorry, we're in Tucson right now. It's going to be a night flight up to Phoenix. Let's see how this goes. Import from SimBrief. So we've already turned the batteries on and we got the external power going and our APU is on. So let's get a little bit of bleed going. We could turn off the external power. Oops. Sorry about that. Had to switch over. But basically what I did was I turned on the batteries, turned on external power, turned on the APU, got the bleed going. So we'll put our emergency exit lights on, our no mobile to auto, no smoking. To auto. I'm not going to run GSX tonight, so we're just going to get the seatbelt signs to auto. Crew supply can come on. Flight recorder ground control to on. Get our nav, our IRS in alignment. And turn our fuel pumps on. And we'll take this plane from Tucson out to Phoenix. A350 IniBuilds version 1.0.4. So let's configure this puppy up. So over to the EFB. Go to our load sheets. Import from SimBrief. That's awfully bright. Don't know where that is. No worries. We're going to set the zero fuel weight, which will put our passengers on board. Looks like we've got 225 passengers tonight. We'll set the fuel. And start the McDo setup. I guess that's what you call it in here. Go in it. Request a flight plan. We will insert that. Tonight we are flying Delta Airlines flight 2112. Cruise altitude is flight level 180. IRS is coming alive and aligned. Departure. Let's see what they have us going out on. We're going to use the EFB, or the built-in EFB in Flight Sim 2024. Let's go to SimBrief Dispatch, view our flight. Looks like we're taking off from runway 30 on the Wildcat 4. Well, runway 30. It is Wildcat 4. There transition? There is. Transition is hot. HOTT. Appropriate for Arizona. We're going to clear out all that mess down there. Phoenix, we are coming in on 26. we doing the IL? Oh, what happened there? 26. ILS 26. Star is going to be pin NG1, or ping 1 as I say. And this is where it's a little bit odd with this A350. I hate you have to do that. You have to use this scroll wheel if you have stars beyond what it shows up there. So we're going to select PNG1. Via transitional should be hot, H-O-T-T. Gonna insert that whole mess. Scroll through it. Looks like it's pretty straightforward. No discos. Straightforward right into 26 in Phoenix. Perfect. Back to, oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to init. Navaids. Looks fine. We're going to go to fuel and load. Now let's close that out. Let's see what it's asking for. Zero fuel weight is 360.0. Here's a tip for you. Click in there and then click Control, and then you can type on your keyboard 360.0 and then hit Enter. CG is 29.1. Hit Control 29.1. Enter. I do hear the cabin back there. Let's
ask that you take your seat as soon as possible and clear the aisles.
We'll turn them up a little bit. Block fuel is 21.0. And that goes, and passengers are, what did we say earlier? 225. So we're here. 225. Enter. Perfect. Telling me we don't have enough fuel, but I don't trust it. I think we'll have enough, so let's roll the dice and see what happens. Takeoff performance. Over to the EFB. Think sim brief. Think the weather. I'm gonna go, looks good. Trust this flex will compute. Send that to the FMS. That's not really a McDo. We will confirm those speeds. Looks like we're flexing at 67. 29.3 is our THS. Laps at 1. That all looks fine. Over on the second FMS, we're going to switch this over to our performance. Keep that active. We'll switch this one back to flight plan. Monitor that. Turn on or click on constraint via our mini cockpit, which just got an update recently, which now works with the 350. And what is our weather? Let's take a look-see. Tucson. And the weather at Tucson is, looks like it's 3,005 for the QNH. Let's just see if that, if you hit the handy dandy, yeah, if you hit the handy dandy comma key. It's going to put in 3005 there, which is set. Our cruise altitude is 18,000. We'll roll that up via our mini cockpit. Perfect. Can close that out. Back to the FMS. That all looks good. Pull up some charts for Phoenix. We're going to be flying into 26, so we'll go approach 26 ILS. It should be right there. We'll keep that active. We're going to need some info from that as we get closer to our destination in Arizona. Night flight. Not much going on at the airport. I am using Beyond ATC to inject traffic, and like there's only one other plane out here right now. Obviously it is night in Tucson, but see what happens. Okay, back to the overhead. That all looks good. APU is on, so we can switch on the beacon because we are going to request pushback from GSX. Now I know there's integrated GSX via built in, but I'm just going to run it manually like I typically do. And we're taking off from runway 30, so runway 30 is where? I believe that's the south, so take a look at our charts here. .9 for Tucson. Yeah, 30's to the south, so we're basically going to get pushed back to the left and take the long taxiway out to 30. Okay, no worries. Let's go back to Phoenix. Let's go to our 26 approach. APP, bingo. Get that all loaded up. And we're ready to rock and roll. So that's all set up there. That back. Okay. Let's get the pushback going. Delta for the pushback. And here they come. Wing walkers and the marshaller, I guess? No, I guess it's not the marshaller. Not really sure, to be honest with you, what they call that person. Down the brightness a little bit on that PFD. It's very bright. Thank you. Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. 24 looks absolutely gorgeous at night. So much better than 20 does. Trying to get a good view here for you all. You're going to want nose to the left. Parking brakes are released. Alright, let's get those engines spooled up. So I'm using a Honeycomb BRAVO. Going to turn on engine start, and as per Airbus, we're going to start engine 1.
May we have your attention, please, for the safety demonstration, even if you're a frequent.
As engine 1 starts up, and check out the wing walker out there. Love that with the lighted, I don't know what those things are called to be honest with you, but it's cool. I want to say mini lightsabers, but obviously they're not, so. Engine 1 shall spool up. Let's get standby on for that. Back to our flight plan. And engine 1 is available, so now we can spool up engine 2. And again, I'm using a Honeycomb BRAVO with mapped out controls here to do that. Works fantastic. I'm a huge fan of anything Honeycomb, so I know they've had issues in the past, but hey, it is what it is. So that's a pretty aggressive pushback. But that'll work. Basically going to hook a right and then a left all the way down to runway 30. It's a fairly long taxi down there, so you got it. Parking brakes are set. Engine 2 is starting to spool up. Ooh, look at that. I love that. 350 is really nice. The IniBuilds, it may not be worth $70, but it's still a pretty cool plane. It's not Phoenix quality, but it's definitely above the default stuff in 2024 and even in 20. Engine 2 looks like it's available. We can turn off the starter. Okay, we're almost ready to get ready to taxi out to runway 30 on our flight from Tucson to Phoenix. Good evening, everybody. This is King Bob once again, and you know, if you enjoy this comment, give me a like, maybe subscribe, or not, up to you. But I enjoy doing this, so I enjoy flying, so, or virtually flying, so to say. Okay, we're good to go. So let's arm ground spoilers. Flaps to 1. Very cool sound for that. Sounds like they're in position. Back into the cockpit. And I think we're pretty much ready to taxi. Going to roll on our taxi lights. Turn off our APU. And now get ready to rock and roll. Should we put on the wing lights? Does it matter? Now we're going to turn them back off. Then no point in having them on. Logo light should be on. Perfect. Actually, we should probably put that to auto. Let's do that. Okay. Let's taxi out to runway 30. We're going to turn our auto brakes on. Release our parking brakes and give it a little bit of juice with the throttles. And we're taxiing out. Woo, Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you on board today's flight. We're just about ready for departure, and the weather en route looks generally smooth with some possible light turbulence, so we're expecting a pleasant flight. We'll keep you updated on our progress throughout the flight. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the in-flight entertainment. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
In-flight entertainment. From what I heard, Delta is now has dancing bears and cats and dogs for the in-flight entertainment. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, why not? Is there really such a thing as in-flight entertainment anymore on any flight? Seriously doubt it. In a short flight like this, I can't really see there being much of anything. Navigating a 350, a huge plane like this, takes a little bit of practice, but we'll get there. Yeah, I'm sorry. 24 looks spectacular compared to 20. It just does, and I know everybody thinks that 24 is a hot mess, but that's not really the truth. I mean, I've got over 500 flights in 24 since it came out back in November, and over 100 hours, and, you know, I've had good luck with it, so. My overlays going here, got beyond going, now looks good. All right, we're ready to rock. We just gotta follow this down to runway 30, do a TO config. I've noticed with the 350 sometimes this takes a couple clicks for it to register, and obviously it's not. There we go. Finally said, hey, you're good to go. After like 4 or 5 clicks, and no clue why that is, but generally, no, not generally, I am enjoying the 350. You know, I think it's a fine plane. Again, I don't think it's Phoenix quality. Those are my favorite planes to fly, and eventually I will fly the PMDG stuff once PMDG gets off their butts and makes their planes compatible with 24, because I don't even have 20 anymore, so I've long since uninstalled that and fly exclusively in 24. But I have tested out the 737, the 800 in 24, and after SU1, Sim Update 1, it seems to work okay, so I do have to try a full flight in it, though. I haven't tried that. I just tried basically manual flying in Orlando and basically landing back in Orlando, and it worked okay, so let's continue to taxi out here. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Saturday, or is having a wonderful Saturday, evening, morning, whatever the heck you're having. I'm sorry. 24 kicks ass. Just the night alone makes it look so much better than it did in 20. Yeah, I know, I'm a 24 apologist, so sue me. I don't really care. I'm having fun, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Hopefully you all have fun too. And maybe you'll like this stream, and maybe you'll come back, or maybe you won't. Maybe you find me totally annoying, which is par for the course. Alright, we're coming out to the end of the runway. By the way, this is an add-on airport for Tucson. I don't think it's strictly compatible for 24, but I've had no issues with it, and I don't think Phoenix is either. I believe Phoenix is the BMA World one, which I don't believe is totally 24 compatible, but I haven't had any issues with it, so. Alright, getting ready to make that big turn. This is always tricky for me with a bigger plane like this. Slow it down and gently turn it out. You'll fuck something up here. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Ooh, Jimmy. It could be a scenery issue, but we will stop here. Throw on our landing lights. We're going to throw our taxi lights to take off. Yeah, take off. Okay, cool. That all looks good up top here. And I guess we can... flip this to TARA, and we're ready to rock and roll. Back to our flight plan so we can see where we're going. Off we go. I'm sorry for the cursing on there. That was my bad. So let's see if I can line this up good. Hard to do in a bigger plane like this. Easier in my go-to a 319 or a 320. Ain't too bad. Okay, we'll take that on the brakes. Good thing about this plane is you don't have to start the chrono if you don't want to, but we're going to because it has an automatic chrono down here. So we're going to spool up the engines to 50%. As they come up, we're going to then go to flex. Go forward pressure. And try to stay on center line. There's 80 knots, release pressure on the stick.
V1.
V1 and rotate. Positive rate gear can come up. We're going to hand fly it for Bix. I love hand flying these planes. that brightness. That is very bright. Spoilers and flaps can come up and back to climb as we climb up to 18,000. I'll follow the flight directors here for a bit. Off to Phoenix we go from Tucson. Welcome aboard. Look at that. Come on. Sorry, that's beautiful. All the peeps down in Tucson land down below. Can't wait till Chase Plane comes out. Saw a little demo of Chase Plane the other day on a friend's computer with 2020, and I was kind of impressed with some of the things it can do. And we're overspeeding right here. We're above 250 knots. Let's pull that nose up, slow down a little bit. Technically, we're breaking the law. Got a nice turn going there. Don't sue me and don't give me a ticket. We're gonna get up to 18,000 before we have to start descending again. Very interesting. Kind of doesn't look that way, but we'll see. We're above 10,000. We're gonna throw autopilot on. Take off our landing lights. Take off our taxi lights, and then let the peeps run free in the cabin. And I don't think so. I mean, we only got 20 miles to top of descent. That can't be right. Something ain't kosher. Let's see where this takes us. Pretty strong headwinds we're going into here, 40 knots. Quite sure we're going to get up to 18,000 before we have to start descending again. Now we'll see. So let's come back down to 3,000. Does this show weather? I don't think it does. We've got to start thinking about setting up our approach. That's literally going to be getting up to 18,000 and then coming right back down again. Let's see how this works out. This should be fun. In the meantime, let's see what the weather is in Phoenix. Alright, so we are looking at 3,002, 245 for the winds. care about the speed limit excess. Mess that up anyway. So, oop. 240. For that. 5 for the winds. Enter that. 3002. And what's our temp there? 17. Enter. And our QNH is 3002. That's all set up. Oh. Climb. Yeah, we exceeded the speed limit, I'm telling you. We should get a ticket. Coming up to 17,000, and literally we're going to be heading right back down to 3,000. Roll that's the range. 5. Jeez Louise, this is going to be look at that. We're getting up to cruise. Once we get all cruise going here, we can roll this back down to 3,000 and start our descent. Love that. I'm not going to use brake to vacate today, so we will just go ahead and get the brakes set, medium. Cruise out to Phoenix. What is our... Oh, you know what? I never put in the decision height, 1385. Let's do that. Barrow is 1385. Enter that. Good to go. All right. Cruising, cruising, cruising. Lovely night in Arizona. Look at the wing flex out there. It's so cool. Can we see any engine wobble? Not noticing it. That's so cool. I'm sorry. This plane's gorgeous. 24 in general is gorgeous. I know I've said it before, but it just is. Deal with it. And we're in descent. What did we say? 3002 was our QNH or QNH into Phoenix. 3002. So we will. Whoopsie. You know what? 2002. Stupid me. I got a mini cockpit EFIS also when I'm sitting here using the mouse. Duh. Now we're set for that. As we descend, descend, and descend. And we'll roll our checks once we get down to 10,000. Should be a pretty much straight-in shot from 26, I believe so. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty much a straight-in shot, so this shouldn't be too difficult. And the winds are what in going into Phoenix? We got 240 at 5, so we're going to have a little bit of a crosswind. Not bad, though. I mean, that's a 2.6 runway, so yeah, 2.60. It shouldn't be too bad. We'll make it work. We always do. We're professionals, after all. Don't understand why I didn't have my strobe lights on. Yeah, you know, sometimes you forget. What can you do? I'm going to take a quick break and I shall be right back. All right, little bio break. We're back in control. As the plane is descending, coming down to a constraint. Quick of 13,250 knots. Descending, descending, descending. Need to get down to 3,000 to catch that glide slope at Prune. P-R-U-N-N will be the waypoint where we catch the glide slope and eventually cruise down in for hopefully a nice smooth landing. Roughly, we've been flying for about 13 minutes now, not block time, but actual air time. So I believe this flight time starts when you take off. Obviously, the block time started when I clicked my chrono just before I started my roll down the runway. Got a descent marker on here. Let's see. Can't really see it. It's probably going to be in here someplace. And no worries, we'll make it work. We always do. We're professionals here. We're Delta Airlines and we love to fly. Oh no, that's not Delta. I'm sorry. See what it looks like outside. Look at that glow in the distance. That has to be Phoenix, obviously. Very cool. Alright, we're starting to come down to 10,000 feet so we can get ready to start doing our 10,000 feet low, basically, which is, you know, landing lights come on, seatbelts come on. We already clicked on the auto brake, so that's set to medium. Again, we're not going to use brake to vacate tonight. I know it works, but it's a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what on my EFIS, or mini EFIS. So I like to do things early, so landing lights can come on now. Throw the seatbelt sign on. them back into their seats, buckled up. You never know when you're going to hit some stinky turbulence up here, which could be could ruin your day. Gonna refresh into Phoenix here. It's still 3002, 3002, and 245 is the winds. Light head crosswind, not too bad. We'll make it work. Rolling. Oh yeah, look at the glow of the lights. Looks like they're coming in some clouds up here. The plane starts to load down or decrease thrust to hit that constraint of 210 knots. And above 8,000, but below 9,000. So what do we got here? So prune, jaggle. Okay, there's our decel point, or not a decel point, but activating approach. And again, I like to do things early, so I'll probably flip that on before we actually get there. So far, the flight has been smooth, no major issues. The 350 is acting the way it should. Knock on wood. No WASM issues. 2 flights now, so 1.0.3 and 1.0.2 for me were not great. But so far, this has been working working as it should. I said with the update to my mini cockpit and mini EFIS that now allows me to control my FCU without having to do mouse clicks. It looks like the next is FinApp waypoint that we're coming to. It's got a constraint of below 6 and above 5, so I think we'll hit it. Not an issue. The quick flight. I love doing this flight because it's my go-to when I'm testing out planes. I also like to do the Newark to Philly because that's a short and a quick run also. But this is another short run to, you know, that I use when I'm testing out, you know, updates or planes, or, you know, it's like my test bed, so to say, or, you know, test bed's the wrong word, but works well. It's not too long. Like I said, the Newark to Philly is also a good one. It's a very short flight too, but Newark can sometimes be a mess because it's very busy compared to Tucson. Phoenix can be busy too, but let's see where this takes us. About 20 minutes into the flight now. Yeah, we'll hit the constraint. We're going to be below 6 and above 5. No issues. Like we're good on our our path down. Pretty much dead on. Ooh, look at them lights out there. I wonder what those people are doing in those houses tonight. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Sorry, it just is. Alrighty. We can see our plane on the charts. Eagle the prune. Okay, yep. Alright, we're gonna click on the landing system. Get that going. Far out are we about? I think we're about 10 miles out. I think we're going to throw it down to flaps 1. Gonna activate the approach phase because, again, I like to do things early. So just slow the plane down. Flaps 1 have been deployed. Plane is descending nicely. Give it some speed brakes to slow it down here. We can get down to S speed to deploy flaps 2. Click our approach phase.
2,500.
But down to flaps 2. About 7.5 miles out right now. No, a little, maybe more like 8. Let's bump our landing gear. Gear is down. Speed brake is armed. Flaps 3. Flaps full. Alright, let's go have a good landing. We've caught the glide slope, so we can turn on the takeoff lights. Everything looks good up top on the overhead. Runway 26 dead ahead. Have a head slash crosswind, 12 knots. Make it happen. Now it's time for the money shots. What everybody comes to see, the landing. We're stable and configured for landing. Riding the slope down. By the way, quick tip, if you want to make this plane a little bit more, I don't know, control better, give yourself some curves on your joystick. I use a Virpil Virpil flight stick, and I do a -50 for the curve. It's not as sensitive if you have no curve, which is what IniBuilds suggests, but I don't like that. So
1,000.
All right, time to concentrate on the landing here, folks.
Hello, Captain. The cabin is secure for landing.
Thank you. Probably disconnect right around 500 or so. Now we got pretty much a headwind 5 knots directly toward us, so
500.
my plane.
$400. 100 of 800.
get back over on center line.
Minimum
Landing.
200. $100. 50, 40, 30,
Retard.
20,
Retard.
10, 5.
All right, we're down. Speed brakes are out.
Auto brake off.
I think we'll be able to make this taxiway. Flaps can start to come up. Disarm the spoilers. Go find a place to park. We'll take that any day of the week. Where to park, where to park, where to park in Phoenix. Welcome to Phoenix, everybody. You know what? There's a spot right there. Next to the United plane. I don't know what spot that is. Let's see if we can dig it up on GSX. Looks like 19 or 29, but I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. Let's see. Is it 19? Nah, I don't want that spot. You know what? We're just going to forego the whole GSX thing and just go park over there. Landing lights can come off. Taxi lights can come on. Fire up the APU. And welcome to Phoenix, everybody. That was a very successful flight. I don't know what that spot says, but we're going to take it. I think it says E9. Let's see if that's in GSX here. I know it's not a heavy spot, but we're going to take it anyways. E9. Oh, maybe it is a heavy spot. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Let's take that. Delta E9. Perfect. Now we got a marshaller out in front of us. Let's guide this in. Any chance we get a dance tonight? Let's see. Haven't had a dance in a long time, but any of the GSX people. know. That's cheating, the external view. Oh well. I use what is available to me. That's good. Brakes on. Any gas? I don't think so. Alright, we'll cut the engines. Let's make sure our APU comes on. Engines are cut. Seatbelt can come off. Now we can start to deboard the plane. Gonna hook up? Yeah, I think it is. Yes, it is. Perfect. All right. Nice flight. By the way, that landing rate wasn't correct according to... I can't believe that was a minus 21. That didn't make any sense, but... that was a pretty good landing. I don't think it was that good, but I'll take it. As we watch... everybody to board, or the deboarding process begin, actually. Let's jump out to drone mode, see what's going on at the airport. Nice United Express down there. Here's some action. Don't see it necessarily, though. Somebody just took off right there. Are they taking off or are they landing? Like an American flight. Is he taking off or is he... he landed. Nice. Hook over to the main. This is this scenery isn't officially compatible with 2024, but I haven't had any issues with it. Look at that big bad boy right there. British Airways. It took a 350, no? Monster plane. Love it. I do love Beyond ATC. Sometimes I just use it without the ATC just to get the traffic. And the traffic is actually provided by FSLTL, so... I'll go over to the tower just to see what's going on. I don't think this tower was... it modeled? It is. Look at that. There's some peeps up in the tower. Alright. Well, that was a nice flight. Hope you all enjoyed that. If you like this content, can't speak tonight, subscribe, maybe throw me a like, and you know, that was fun. I will see you next time. This is King Bob. Cheers.